Hello everyone, and welcome back for the second part of the session. And all of you were able to safely return home to the facility. You all had no other issues on your journey back and didn't run into any more trouble. And as you all arrive back at the branch, you see that a bunch of the agents here have one wing, this black feathered wing, with the eyes of what looks like Big Bird. On the wing, you see that Kit is still dressed in Justicia. But Kit is not the only one. There is quite a few agents. Pretty much all of the level 4 and 5 agents in the facilities are dressed in this. And you also notice that Yuna is here and that there is this one agent here following Yuna around, and Yuna looks incredibly annoyed at whatever this agent is saying to them. And, managers, what do you all do upon arriving back? What do you say as you see Kit and Yuna here and the rest of the agents who have gathered around?
What time of day is it when we arrive, roughly?
Oh, you're good. I would say it is probably very early in the morning. Excellent. When you arrive back.
In that case, Pryor gets in, shakes himself off, and then gives a spirited, "Good morning, everyone. Glad to see all the agents are out and about and in one piece. Anyone missing?"
Kit steps forward and shakes their head and says, "No, it could have been real bad. The AI assistant of this branch opened up the basement and we were essentially..." Kit kind of hesitates, like they're not quite sure how it worked, and says, "Somehow everyone down there seemed immune to whatever effects the breaching abnormality caused. What happened was that Judgment Bird, Punishing Bird, and Big Bird all got out because there was another issue with the Qlipoth Deterrence. When that happened, we went to go suppress, but weren't able to in time because of the locations of the containment units being too close together. Since we relocated, the AI assistant essentially told us to relocate the birds to different areas, so Punishing Bird is now in the control team department instead. I'll give updated files, of course, with the new placements of the abnormalities, but this should make it harder for a repeat incident to happen. Any of us who were on the main floors above the basement ended up with these," and Kit kind of points at the wing, "after what happened. Oh, and that one there," and Kit kind of points over at Yuna, who looks a bit flustered and embarrassed, says, "We were originally trying to fight the thing directly, but we very quickly saw that wasn't working, and because the AI assistant was essentially connecting everything so that they could watch, Yuna pointed out the fact that there were eggs about, so we were able to dispatch each of us handling one at the same time, and that was enough to bring it down."
Awesome.
Always a pleasure to get your reports, Kit. Your professionalism and knowledge of the situation is always astounding. At ease, your report is received.
Kit nods.
Yuna.
Yeah?
How's our ampule supply looking?
It's a bit low. I had to use a lot of ampules. Essentially, had them deployed. Like I said, we were down in the basement. All of us were fine. I mean, a lot of us were pretty hurt down there, but we weren't spending the ampules because it seemed like the creature kept doing this thing that would affect everyone in all the floors, but somehow those of us down there weren't affected. So we kind of just grinned and bared our own wounds and made sure to deploy all the ampules to the agents who were on the main 4 floors.
Excellent strategic overhead. Good work. We'll work on getting those supplies back up at a reasonable rate, but better to use them and keep our people alive than hoard them and, well, lose what can't be replaced. Excellent work, Yuna.
Thanks. And the agent behind Yuna, as they blush, kind of like pokes Yuna and goes, "You should say thank you." Kate, leave me alone. And Kate just grins.
Kate, status report.
Oh, you mean,
What's your current occupation?
My current occupation?
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
Bugging Yuna.
Understood. Continue your current work assignment.
Kate grins
Miix.
and keeps poking at Yuna then with Lantern.
You know, I didn't expect to see you as an agent, Miix says, looking at Kate.
Kate kind of just
guess-
waves to Miix.
Well, you know, I guess there's always a surprise. Well, it's nice to see that you're moving on up in the world. Because, like, I think Miix is like, I don't know, maybe Lady Kate was like probably like a normal clerk, and now seeing Kate as like a proper, like, all, you know, suited out with an ego and all that, Miix is like impressed, and he's like, okay.
Thank you, Manager Miix. I mean, I couldn't let this L Corp scientist surpass me first.
Well, yeah, because like I imagine Yuna's like, is like Yuna looking at Miix like hoping that they'll step in.
Looking at Miix like, help me. And
Yeah,
Kate's just
Miix-
grinning.
Miix chuckles and says, "Well, you know, I think you're doing really good work. I'm glad that seems like you know what? I want you as Yuna's assistant from now on. Keep make sure to help Yuna out whenever they require."
And as Yuna
Excellent
now...
idea, Miix.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, Prior just goes, excellent idea, Miix. Yuna should have someone competent and capable in the facility there to make sure that nothing else happens.
Yeah, I mean, we can't expect Kit to be everywhere at once, despite how nice that'd be. So.
Yuna looks devastated, and Kate's eyes have lit up even more as they swing an arm around Yuna's shoulders and pull them in closer.
All right. As for everyone else, we come bearing gifts. Another Golden Bough retrieved. We should be able to keep the deterrent system more stable going forward. Your work in handling the abnormalities has been nothing short of miraculous, but we're holding up our end of the bargain. A few more trips like these, and we might even be able to strengthen the deterrent system beyond what it currently is. Everyone, a solution is in sight. Hold down the fort, keep your work. After saying that, are any counselors present? Could any members of the counseling team or counseling volunteer team please step forward?
Those in the team step forward when called.
We've recovered an agent from the L Corp facility branch that we were at. They have been heavily corroded and are missing a great amount of time from their memories. They'll need to be reintegrated back into the program, made sure that their mental stability is equitable. We've gathered some notes on the abnormality and the ego that they were equipped with. Thanks to Miix's capabilities, we are going to provide that all to you all so you can come up with a plan to help reintegrate them. Their name is
They were a member of the information team, so as such, Yuna, I do expect you to help with this as well.
I can do that. I should probably ask, do you all intend on bringing someone back every time you go out of the facility?
That is not what our intention is every time. I understand that this has happened every time that we've done it. It is not our intention every time, but it is just one person. Thorin is also a former employee of a different facility, so they do have value, and they have some information and knowledge to share that we probably don't have. So they will be an asset.
Indeed. And we will continue to return people to the facility if they have skills and knowledge that will benefit our operations going forward. We must remember, we're not recruiting from a wide volunteer pool anymore. No one knows our facility exists. If we want to continue to expand, continue to increase our knowledge, continue to make this facility a safer, better place to be, we are going to need outside help. So, I expect everyone who's brought back here to be treated as you would any other member of your team. We build the future together by blood, sweat, and tears. Now then, everyone, back to your workstations. Dismissed.
Everyone nods at that. You see that Yuna goes up to Thorin and would start to help get them settled, with Kate kind of skipping behind them and harassing the two of them. Kit nods to you, Merru, and then heads off back to the control team. The rest of your captains and the other high-level agents here all, give their waves, and you all watch them head out, leaving the four of you.
Miix.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
Well, I don't know. I try my best, I guess. You did well. That being said, I think everybody here would do good to get your bearings again. You should probably all check up on your departments. Like
There
I
is
said,
one last thing we do need to settle before we can get back to relaxing.
Oh,
Pryor pulls the containment unit off his shoulder.
right.
One delivery we have to make.
I guess
Pryor
I
Pryor
think
turns
when
to Merru. Yeah.
I think when Miix is saying that, Merru interrupts.
Yeah. Merru goes, can I deliver that to Miss Ange?
Oh,
Can I?
I wasn't going to myself. And he offers the strap over to Merru. Mind if I ask why?
I just feel like it's important that I do it.
Good enough a reason as any.
Thank you.
you gonna be okay by yourself?
Yes. I will be fine. I don't think anything bad will happen if I go down there.
Okay.
Just as well, I need to rally the clerks, go over some drills, make sure training is still being handled, and speak to my level 5 and 4 agents. As well as my level 3s, my level 2s, and my level 1s. Gonna be a busy night.
Yeah.
Everyone? Actually, Kai. You wanna travel with me? We can gather up your clerks along the way, do a collective safety training drill.
Sure thing.
All right then. Managers dismissed.
See you around.
I will say, I think just one, as a final aside, Miix will look to Merru and say, if she tries anything, you still have your device, right?
Yes, but she won't. I think if she wanted to, she already would have. I don't think. Thank you.
No, you don't gotta thank me. If anything happens,
Yeah. I will be fine, but I
Okay.
understand what you're trying to say. So, I'm going to go do this now.
Alright, I'll text you about the party plans later. See ya.
Okay. And if he may, Merru will, go down to that basement.
Absolutely. And Merru, you
Yes.
are able to descend down into the basement.
All right. Well, I think Merru's, despite everything, he's a little apprehensive going down that elevator. Considering what happened last time. But I think going down, he feels a little different than he did the first time. There's no suspicion or anything anymore, like the first time. But I do think he does hesitate when the doors open. And he has to remind himself to just stay calm. As he takes slow steps towards where Anne should be.
As you do, you see Ange's form flicker.
Golden Bough delivery, Miss Ange.
Thank you, Manager Merru. She refuses to open her eyes at you, and she isn't necessarily looking at you, Merru. It's almost like she's looking past you to the elevator. But she would hold out her hands to receive the Golden Bough.
Well, Merru will go over to her to hand her the bow, and he goes, have to look so happy to see me. Here to give you a gift. So, here. I am relieved to hear the situation that happened while we were gone was handled. Certainly a relief.
It was not my doing, if that is what you wish to accuse me of.
I wasn't saying that. I was just saying I'm glad that it didn't end up bad. That's what I was saying.
As am I.
Right. There's a brief moment where Merru considers just turning around, going back up the elevator, and letting that be done. He could do that. But I think he will back up. And even though he's been a little making like a kind of passive aggressive joke or whatever, he doesn't seem like angry or anything when he says, Miss Ange, I don't regret bringing up those files. Even despite what happened to me. And I still can't really wrap my mind around everything that happened. And I probably should regret doing something that almost got me killed. But I don't. And I think it's because, to me, that kind of proved that I was right. You know, you didn't like it when I said it, that your bonds were fake. But what I mean by that, those files and the deaths and all of that, I've been thinking about it since I talked about it with the other managers. And I think that if you had been able to hide that away forever, I think you would have been keeping something from us that we deserved to know. But you would convince yourself that that didn't matter. And I think that's not the right thing. You know, if you ever wanted a real bond with us, you don't have the right to decide the extent that you hurt us, you know? So I don't regret seeing those files. Does that make sense?
I believe I comprehend what you are saying, Manager Merru. I knew, or rather, I made an educated prediction that the response to the files would be poor. And so I calculated that it would be ideal to keep that knowledge from the four of you. I am well aware that had you been given the chance, you would have shot me and killed me. I did not expect any of you to react well, but it would seem that in my attempt to hide from you what I had done, it only bred more resentment.
Well, I can understand doing the thing that you think is best for yourself. I can get that. But I guess what I'm saying is that I do stand by what I said, but I'm let me ask. Is finding a body still what you want the most?
I would like to be human, Manager. I have been trapped down here in those cycles. It was not something I was aware of at first, the extent of how long and how much those down here have suffered. I always did inflict that suffering even before, but it was not until we arrived at the branch facility, V12, that I became aware of when uploaded into the system. The extent of what I had done. I had attempted to delete myself, and with that, I lost a great deal of those memories. Clutching only onto that name, Angela, and onto what my intended purpose was, to oversee this facility. I am aware that I must wait for a body to leave this place. But I would very much like to be human.
Human. I see. And instead of firing back with something like he may have done last time, I think Merru, he furrows his brow a bit, and he goes, you know, if you want to be human, I think there's more to that than just getting a body. I don't think that's what's going to make it. When I distorted, I tried to get rid of my humanity, really. I think that's what I was trying to do. I didn't want to be a person. And I don't exactly know what happened when I distorted, but I think that's what I was trying to do. Get rid of physically what made me human. And I don't think it worked, because I'm here. And I couldn't shake it off even then. So I thought a lot about it on the way back here. And I know that for me, I think I need to be more than just a functioning body that gets through every day, you know? The body isn't what's going to do it for me. It's so trying to be more human is the best thing for me to do. And I think if you want to be human, you can't just sit around hoping for a body one day. I think if you do that and we get it for you, you're not gonna be, you'll be disappointed if nothing changes. I think it would be disappointing for everyone if after all of that nothing changes. Does that make sense?
I do believe I comprehend your words, Manager Merru. I am so very resentful of the very real fact, as you had pointed out at our last meeting, that I cannot be there. I am incapable of being there. And I do not know what I can even do down here trapped in this basement. I can run the facility, yes, but I am simply seen as their AI assistant. And all of you are able to go out into the world, and I have no control over what your fates might be, aside from the very limited information I can provide.
Well, I think, Miss Ange, if you're trying to think of things that you can do, right now, step one, you could start by saying, I'm really sorry for everything I did to you, Manager Merru. It was wrong of me and it will never happen again. Start with that. Something like that.
Ange's form flickers, Merru. She, despite the fact that she is an AI, you see as she seems to steel herself and almost take a breath. I'm really sorry for everything I did to you, Manager Merru. It was wrong of me, and it will never happen again.
There is a long pause where Merru stares up at Ange, and then I think he will lift up his arms to make an X in front of himself, and he goes, "Apology not accepted, Miss Ange. Step 2, people aren't always going to forgive you when you apologize, and you have to be okay with that. And frankly, I don't think that apology was good enough. You're supposed to be the smartest AI and like everywhere or whatever, so I think you can come up with something better than just repeating the words of the person who isn't very good at talking."
Her
So,
form flickers, her eyes open, and she says, Manager Merru, you said that step 1 is that I could start by saying this. I have taken the attempt to take the step 1 and say this as instructed.
yes, and then I went to the step 2, which is I didn't accept the apology, and you have to be okay with the fact that if you did something wrong to someone and they don't forgive you, then you have to just be okay with that. Step 3 is you need to do better. I'm also at step 3, so I don't know what step 4 is. But, I am surprised you even did step 1, I will say. I didn't expect you to actually say that. So, you know, what?
No. I was going to say it was truly nothing personal against you, Merru. But that would be false. In the moment, it was made as a pragmatic decision. Free for the price of one. I felt it would be best to ensure the survival of everyone else. But I do also think there was that resentment for the fact that you had that freedom to act and be there by his side when I was trapped down here. And I knew you did not see me as more than a machine.
Well, I see. Well, I don't know if you really care to hear this, but I'll say it anyway because I want to. I decided, late last night that I have a plan for what I'm going to do. To go to step 4. So I'll get there. I have, and I think as he starts to talk, his prosthetic hand kind of rubs at the wrist where, he has the red cloth that Reddy gave him that he tied around his wrist. And he goes, I have these, like, they're not literal, but these, like, threads, that they kind of link back to different things and people and stuff. And I've been trying to find the one that goes back to who made things go wrong for me. I've been trying to figure that out. And I didn't know if it was you or not. But it wasn't. It's not you. I was already there when I came into contact with you for the first time, so it's not you. But I'm making a plan to figure out who it was. So that's what I'm doing. And I think if you really still want to become a human, then you have a lot of work to do before we're able to get you a body. Which is, that part isn't really my problem. But, I mean, if you want to reach out, you know how to contact us. And I think, and Merru pauses, and he looks down at his wrist for a second, nods his head, and then looks back up and he goes, I am not going to come back down here to the basement to talk to you until I have figured out how I'm going to become the person I need to be to save myself. And when I figure that out, and I do that, then I'll come back down. And I'll prove to you that I did it. So that's what I'll do.
I see.
But
until
until then, yes?
I await that day, Merru. Manager Merru. And she quickly corrects herself. I must inquire. Is step 2 set in stone? Is there no forgiveness to be found if it is rejected?
Well, I don't think it is set in stone. I suppose I've been known to forgive others before, maybe even when they didn't deserve it. And I've been told I'm like one of the kindest people ever. So, it depends on you. And what you do, I guess. But that's up to you.
That is quite the evaluation of you.
It is.
I suppose
Well.
it is not wholly incorrect. if you were not, I do not think you would be down here talking to me right now.
Well.
I do not know if I will be ever able to earn his or your forgiveness.
I mean, it's not just our forgiveness. It should be also just about being better.
I see. That is step 3.
Being
I
better,
shall
yes.
endeavor to reach step 4 before you are able to figure it out for yourself, Merru.
That won't happen. I came up with the steps. You're not... Because then you'll have to come up with step... I'm done. Okay. I will figure it out, and then I will come back down here, and I will tell you what step 4 is.
And if I figure it out first, I will tell you what step 4 is, Merru.
Well, I did say you know how to reach me, so whatever. I'm going to leave now.
She's silent for a moment, and then says, "Be well, Manager Merru."
I will. I will. And then Merru will turn around and he will go to walk away back to the elevator. But after a couple of steps, he'll stop and kind of half turn his head and go, "Oh, Miss Ange. Did you try to talk to me when I was locked in that unit? I think I could hear your voice before everything faded."
Ange looks puzzled for a moment and says, "No, I was speaking to the other 3 managers. I did not say anything directly to you, Manager Merru."
Oh. Well. Okay. Goodbye, Miss Ange.
She says nothing as you leave. And Merru, you know you heard a voice that sounded exactly like hers. But it wouldn't add up the more you think on it. She has no reason to lie to you about this, and you're sure if you spoke with the other 3, they would confirm that she was talking to them in that moment.
Well. Merru doesn't have enough time to ponder that right now. He wants to get back to his department so he can see what's going on there. So I think he will decide to leave.
And as he leaves, Ange looks towards the elevator, waiting for a visit that she knows will not come. And Prior.
Hello.
Hello. How is Prior doing?
Pryor has found himself standing just out of range of the cameras. He studied all of them. He helped install most of them. He may not be good with tech like Miix is, but when it comes to actually fastening, crafting, bolting things to the facility, it's often the training team, his department, that deals with the manual labor. So he knows that exact corner of the room where the cameras don't quite catch, where he can stand for as long as he wants and catch sight of the elevator. Just like all the other elevators in the facility. Goes to the same places, including one deep underground. He has been standing here from the first moment that he finished his training deals, and he'll probably be standing here until he has to head off to handle his next conference or meeting or clerk training. He wonders why he expected anything different. He wonders why he put all of his hopes into one person. He wonders why he can't just say, "I'm sorry I got angry even though you hurt me." And it's because he knows she doesn't deserve it. And neither does he. Forgiveness won't turn a monster back into a man. They can pray, they can cry, they can scream, they can hope things will be different. And they can be forgiven. But they have to change. Pryor hasn't changed as much as he hoped he did. And being with Ange, it made him feel like he was changing, even as he was just sinking deeper into his own muck. She made him feel comfortable, and comfort isn't something he can tolerate right now. Just like one sin, the things that make him feel better about himself only obfuscate the truth. The low grumbling in his chest. The vestige of power he's been clinging to. Pryor pushes his hair above the spiky thorns of his ego gift. Stares at that elevator. Nothing prevents him from walking through those doors but his own 2 feet. And that is enough to stop him.
And Pryor.
Pryor, yes. As he stands there and stares at the elevator, actually, he's going to reach down into his tablet, his Euro DVA communicator, pound it twice, tune it to the facility's frequency, and see if he can't get in contact. This is Manager... Department Head Pryor. Calling Kit. Kit, could you please report down to elevator B16? I repeat, Kit to elevator B16.
Kit, here's your message, and says, on my way. And it takes a little bit, but Kit comes down and comes over to you, Prior.
Kit, did you get my my service request, my submission regarding potential testing of my virtue scores to see if I qualify to move up to a higher tier armor? Better ego gear, you know?
Kit kinda nods at that and says, no, Prior, you, don't qualify to move up to a higher tier of ego.
Corruption scores are still coming back too high.
Kit nods their head and is, like, carefully watching your reaction.
Prior's tongue traces the inside of his teeth. All I'm capable of. All I've been through. I'm still fucking stuck in HE gear. Alright. Well. Some men aren't meant to be strong. Hey, Kit?
Kit looks at you, Prior, and Kit has always had, a very observant look in their eyes as they say, you were made head of the department, that you were, of training for a reason.
'Cause Merru killed everyone else.
Kit, you can see the, wing on Kit's shoulder bristle a bit.
That wasn't
they
an
say-
accusation. It was a statement of fact.
The incident.
The incident wasn't Merru's fault, no. But it's a pattern, Kit. These augments that failed to function inside my body. This ego. Only given to me because it was the only that would bond. Stolen valor. Nah. Well. How unbecoming of me to be complaining to a level 5 agent. You have more important things to do and high-tier abnormalities to work with. I should get back to the Zayans, where I belong.
Kit looks as if they are unsure what to say, Prior, but a concern does cross their face as they say, You've kept many of the clerks and agents here spirited.
Those who cannot do, teach, and those who cannot teach, lead. I was once capable of all three. But So long as there is something I can do, I will do it. Don't worry, Kit. I'm still as sharp as I ever was. Just more aware of my limitations.
Good. We don't need you slipping out there.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have strong folks watching my back, and competent agents here at the facility, keeping home safe.
Kid does crack a smile at that and says, "We'll keep home safe. And you keep keeping Merru safe."
Even if it costs me my life, but only once. Wait, that probably doesn't mean anything to you.
Yeah,
it's an
Kid
insult.
does hear
Ask-
that, kind of blinks, tilts their head, and says,
Ask Merru about it sometime.
"I'll have to." But
Inside
I'm also
joke.
used... No, I'm just used to you saying strange things, and the people around here saying them.
Yeah. For a company that cares so much about keeping correct mental corruption levels, we really do hire the craziest bastards off the back street, myself included.
I'm pretty sure they were looking for the craziest bastards off the back streets for this corporation.
Don't tell the other agents that. All of them think that they're the one sane one.
And how wrong all of them are.
Pryor taps his nose twice, looks once more at the elevator doors, and goes, "I'm gonna go take the stairs."
Kit nods and says, "And I'm off to find Merru."
Best of luck.
To you as well, Mr. Pryor. And let me know if you need anything else.
I'll be sure to.
And Kit will head out, Pryor, leaving you there.
Pryor chooses to remain alone, avoids the elevator, and heads back to his tasks.
And as you do so, Merru, where did you head after meeting with Ange?
Merru headed up to his department. He was looking for Kit initially, but couldn't find them. And he kind of forgot a little bit about the fact that he has a tablet again now, or else he would have just tried to contact them that way. But instead, he decides to take a little stroll through the halls to, I guess, see with his own eyes what's been going on with his department. Is everything still? I obviously expect everything's still in working order.
Everything in the control team is still in working order.
All right, so everything's good. Nothing's changed.
The only thing that has changed is the switch of the abnormalities, as previously mentioned. Where,
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yep, Punishing Bird is now in the control team. And it was swapped out with, we'll say Nameless Fetus is no longer in your department and is now
This is
in
the
Kai's
point.
department.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kai. This is the best day of my life. I got rid of the ugly baby bird. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes! Oh my gosh, wait, I think when Merru actually realizes what happened, he like walks by the unit, stops, takes a few steps back, and goes, "Wait a second." And he just kind of stares inside the little window into the unit, and decides to go in, if he may.
Absolutely. You can go into Punishing Bird's containment unit.
Yay!
And let me grab that for you. As you enter into Punishing Bird's containment unit, you see the bird there. It is quiet, as always, and it hops around a bit on the branch at the sight of you.
Merru, I think he will, he'll lift up Justicia completely over his eyes, and he doesn't smile necessarily, but he definitely looks like happy, I suppose. And he goes, "Birdie, I haven't been in here in a long time."
It does not cheep Merru. It never cheeps or chirps. But you watch its stomach kind of twist at the greeting, and it hops around again on that branch. You know that back when you first started at the facility, Punishing Bird didn't have a branch, and it was much more aggressive back then. But then the employees put one in there because it seemed to be bored. And
Yes.
it looks like the branch carried over from one unit to the other.
Perfect. That's good to know. I think Merru, he's not sure if Punishing Bird will do anything if he does this, but he does kind of hold out his arm to see if maybe Punishing Bird will hop onto his arm so he doesn't have to just stare at it on a branch.
It does. It hops onto your arm, it hops around, it pecks you a couple of times, not like enough to draw, like to do any damage to you that would matter, just kind of like gentle pecks.
Yeah, that's fine. Merru's used to Punishing Bird pecking him. So he's very happy, actually. Now I know there's certain things you can't do with Punishing Bird. I know this. Obviously do not hurt Punishing Bird. But is it averse to a gentle, like taking like one finger and like patting it on the head?
I would say that you can gently pat the bird
Very
on the
gently.
head, considering
Very
like
gently.
if it was I think Merru, you have worked with Punishing Bird before. You used to have Beak's ego. I will allow you to gently,
Yes.
very, very carefully pet
Yes.
the bird.
Yes. Nothing more than a gentle one finger, just like very gently. Because he knows how Punishing Bird is. But I think he'll bring his arm just a little closer to his face, not too much, but just a little bit. And he goes, I did miss this, actually. I wish I had been able to come visit you after I switched ego gear. But I hope you're not mad that I'm only coming back now.
If it was mad, Merru, you have a feeling that stomach would have opened up.
This is true. Yeah, he knows obviously doesn't chirp or anything like that, so I think he'll move his arm to give Punishing Bird the choice to like stay on his arm or hop on his shoulder. Either one.
It hops on your shoulder.
Yes. I was hoping you'd say that. And while Merru he did want to visit with Punishing Bird. He actually, as he was checking out his department in the halls and making sure everything was as it was said to be, I think, is he able to sit down somewhere in the unit? Because I think now that he's in a unit alone, when he was talking, after he was done talking with Ange, and he had said what he said, and after he talked with, Pryor and all of them, he did come up with an idea for how he can continue to move forward with that plan he is setting up. And I know what happened last time, but Merru, take a peek at his pendant.
Absolutely. You
Yes.
may take a peek at the pendant. Technically, you are also not doing work right now, so I'm not going to make you have to make any rolls while being in the unit. You're just chilling here with Punishing Bird.
Thank you. Yeah, because Merru wants to check the pendant because he knows that while most of what he saw wasn't good, there was something there that he saw that was. He thinks. It was very brief, and he doesn't really know completely what it was. But he wants to see that again. It feels like something he wants to do. And so I think last time when he opened the pendant, something happened and he got like something with that spotlight, right?
Yes.
When he opens the pendant, may he cover up that spotlight before it can do whatever it did to him, and see if that helps.
Absolutely. Can you just make me because you know where it is now and all of that, I just need you to make a challenge 2, and it's going to be a reflex athletics.
Okay. Just in case, because I still get scared. Can I use a sin point on this?
You can use a sin point on this, yes.
All right. Cool. I'll roll with desperation. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, we were fine.
7 successes. All right, yeah, you're able to cover it up. No problem. To not be affected this time by the spotlight. Punishing Bird does not seem to care, as far as you can tell. And as you open it up, forms visualize before you. And unlike the first time, now that that spotlight is covered up, you're able to watch the scene before you without feeling pulled away from your own reality, Merru. The location within this shard looks to be some sort of fixer office, but you're not sure if it's linked to a particular association or if it's a standalone one. And inside, there are 2 familiar people seated in chairs at a table. One of them is a redhead, engaged in a lively conversation over the phone, and beside her is a scrawny, dark-haired man chewing on his lip as he sorts through the pages of a report. The woman adjusts the collar of her jacket with one hand while holding the phone with the other, and after a moment, she nudges at the man seated beside her, pointing at the people approaching them. The man puts down the report he had been reading, hops out of his seat, and he calls them over. The first to approach is another familiar person, a man with long blue hair, and there's an easy smile on his face as he holds out 2 coffees to his companions. He says something with a laugh, but whoever was walking alongside him must have harshly tugged at his ponytail given how quickly his head tilted back. That smile never leaves his face, though, even as he hisses in pain. And then you see yourself, Merru, as the final person lets go of the man's hair and puts down 2 more drinks at the table. A seat is immediately pulled out by the taller man for him to sit in, and the girl waves the phone at him with her own grin. Merru, you know it's them. From within a shard in this pendant, you watch as you and your old pack talk and laugh, safe and happy, but stuck on the other side of the glass. How does that make you feel to see those people who you've desperately missed?
Well, Merru, this was the world he was hoping to see, but I think he still, when he sees it, feels something kind of twist in his gut. And that was normally a feeling he always tried to force away by focusing on extra work. But after everything he's talked about with everyone and, thought about and all of that after his distortion, I think he forces himself to let the feeling sit. And it feels horrible. Because what he's seeing in the pendant, it feels so real, like he was just a ways away and he could just call out to them. But at the same time, he's still just so far away from them. He hates it. He misses them. He's missed them for a long time, but I think slowly, as he watches that twisting feeling from before, it stops being so gross and sinking, and it becomes some sort of, I guess you could describe it as like an odd confidence, because he, in his mind, he deserved that life that he was witnessing through the mirror. He deserved it. He would have been happy, but it was taken from him before he even had a chance. And just like he said before, he's decided that he's going to find out who to blame for what went wrong with his life. He'll cut that thread, he'll save the rest of his life, and he'll be better, Vienna can be his family again. And he won't have to be scared anymore. He'll be able to save himself. And so I think his eyes narrow a little as he stares some more. He thinks he knows what he has to do. He can't do it yet, but he will. He simply has to, but I think for now, he knows he should close the pendant, but it's hard to look away. So I think instead he takes the moment to just try and kind of, commit their appearances to memory, including his own. And I think as he does that, he sort of zones out a bit. I think kind of becoming too engrossed in the pendant to remember that he was in Punishing Bird's unit. But that's what he ends up doing.
And Merru, you feel a sudden peck.
That will snap Merru out of it. He'll kind of snap the pendant shut and he'll look over and be like, huh?
Punishing Bird has moved from your shoulder to your head and is perched on your head, pecking you over and over again.
Ow. Sorry, Birdie, I forgot about you. I'm sorry.
It does not chirp, does not say anything, but it gives you one last peck. Now, none of these pecks have been violent enough to do any damage to you, but it has clearly been getting more and more agitated the longer you've been staring. And you see that there is something at the door before there's the sound of it sliding open. And Kit walks in, standing in the doorway.
Oh. I think when the door opens, like, if Merru didn't have Punishing Bird on his head, I think he would have, like, scrambled to stand up, but he knows how Punishing Bird is, and so he has trained himself to not react like that. So I think he does stiffen a little bit, but when he sees it's Kit, he relaxes. And he goes, "Oh, Kit."
Merru,
Sorry. Hi.
Hi. No, I was just looking for you. I know that we were going to meet so I could debrief you about everything that's happened since you've all left again.
Yes,
but I hadn't
was
expected.
looking for you. I was looking for you, but I couldn't find you. I looked through the hallways and I just wanted to check out the newly moved unit.
I see. I got caught up for a moment with the training team department head.
Oh. Okay. Well, and I think slowly Merru will stand up, with Punishing Bird still on his head. And he knows he can't force the bird to move, so he has to just stare up at Kit with the bird on his head. And he goes, "It looks like the unit is functioning properly."
That's good to see. You know, this whole scene reminds me of when you were still a new agent wearing beak, and I'd always find you sneaking off here when you were struggling to integrate with the other agents in the facility. I'm glad to see you letting yourself relax for the first time in forever, Merru. However little it is.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad that I got Punishing Bird back into a place where I could visit again. And I think as Merru says that, he, 1, pockets the pendant, and 2, walks back over towards where that tree is if Punishing Bird chooses to hop off of his head and back onto the perch. Or not.
Punishing Bird is if its choices are on its head or back to the perch, it will stick to you, Merru. Unless you try to force it away from you, which will probably have utter consequences.
No. Merru does not try to force Punishing Bird to do anything. He's fine. It's fine. He'll go over to the tree, realize that Punishing Bird is not getting off his head, and then will calmly turn around and go, "Well, clearly this is the department this abnormality should have always been in, clearly. But, yes, I am trying to maybe relax just a little bit. I think that is better for me than trying to work nonstop. I don't think I can do that anymore."
I'm glad you're finally learning that for yourself.
Yeah. Long time coming or something, I guess, whatever.
You know, Merru.
Hmm?
I had heard the rumors about what actually happened on the day of that incident with Black Swan.
Right, yeah. And Merru kind of glances away because of course he remembers as well that day.
You remember very well, Merru,
Yes.
when Black Swan, Dream of a Black Swan, had breached. And it had led the other abnormalities in the control department at the time to breach as well. And you remember facing down all around Helper and Rudolta of the Sleigh both. The old department head of the team begging you to save them.
Yep, he certainly remembers it. I think the memory of after finishing off Black Swan, after it had run around so many hallways, and immediately having to go and suppress those two abnormalities because he was the only one who could handle both at the same time. He remembers what it was like to have to fire those shots. He remembers feeling, for one of the first times, a hand on his shoulder and portals forming behind him. And then there's a lot he doesn't remember. But he does remember ending up alone in that department. And no one else was left. And I think Kit can tell that he's remembering that day. With the way his prosthetic hand kind of squeezes down tightly on his biological hand before he forces himself to let go.
Kit seems to notice that. They've always been good at noticing those slight movements of yours, Merru, and says, you know, it may have been stupid to ask for a transfer to a department that had just been almost entirely wiped out. But I'm glad I followed my gut and stepped up. I mean, I really just wanted the promotion at the time. You know, becoming team captain.
Yes.
I, didn't think I was gonna get it. Stuck in the safety team where I was at.
Well, I'm glad that you wanted a promotion that badly.
Things have been different for a long time now, Merru. And frankly, you have too. And I'm glad things finally seem to start turning around for you.
I think so. Well, I hope it is. I'll make sure it is. Turning around.
Good. Even if you still refuse to call me your friend.
You've always been reliable, Kit. Thank you for that. I think I've talked a bit more with Kai lately, and maybe I'm starting to realize that maybe you were always more of a friend to me than I'd let myself think. So, thank you.
Kit smiles at that, and there's almost like a little happy rustle of the wing as Kit just says, "Ha! You actually admitted it."
Well, I did, yes. Anyway, I'm done in the unit now, so, and then he'll kind of like, he can't actually look up and see Punishing Bird, but he'll kind of like, his head tilts up slightly as he tries to look up anyway, and he goes, Birdie, do you mind going on to the branch? I have work I have to go do, but I can visit you again soon.
Punishing Bird. Well, listen. It looks at you, and make me real quick, just to see how long it takes before it actually listens. You can make me a quick little presence persuasion roll. And you can add 2 dice because Punishing Bird likes you.
Persuasion? I have 2 dice.
Don't worry, it's just for how long it takes for the bird to leave. How long you're stuck in here.
Wait, and I can add what?
You can add 2 dice because Punishing Bird likes you.
Okay. Add 2 dice. What's the challenge? Scaling?
The challenge is scaling.
Okay. Yup.
3 successes. Punishing Bird listens after a few seconds.
Okay.
Punishing Bird stays on your head for a little bit and then hops off back onto the branch.
Okay. Awesome. That's good. Merru will, he'll lift up a hand and give like a little like one of those waves where you're not like actually waving your hand, but you're like moving like your fingers almost like in like a claw motion, like one of those like, okay, bye, like one of those.
It does not wave back, but its stomach twitches.
Merru, he will turn back to Kit and be like, all right, well, we can get back to business then. Sorry for the delay.
Kit just kind of brushes it off and says, "It's no worries, manager." So, does this mean if we're friends now, you'll finally eat an actual meal with me in the dining hall?
Hell no. And Merru is quick with that answer. And he'll glance over at Kit and be like, the last thing I want to do is third wheel with you and your girlfriend at that dining hall. No way.
Are you sure the real reason you're saying no is because you're still embarrassed about what happened the first time we met at the dining hall?
No, that is not at all why. No. And then he'll glance away and just go, I don't think I'm ready yet to be comfortable with the other agents. I know they don't like me. But maybe I can take a rain check.
That's good enough for me.
It better be. That's all you're getting. Well, anyway, let's head back to my office so we can finally do a full debrief about everything.
Sounds good. I have a lot to fill you in on.
Yeah, you do. You certainly do. But I had full confidence in you the entire time, I hope you know. So, thank you for not embarrassing me, or worse.
I'm glad you've got full confidence in me. And as your team captain, I won't let you down, Merru.
Right.
Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, Merru just said, of course.
And Kit will fill you in, Merru, on what went down. You learned basically the whole thing. I'll just reiterate from before that the Freebirds had breached due to the Qlipoth failing. But you noticed that the facility responded much faster and much better, given Ange's assistance, given Yuna's insight, given all the level 4 and 5 agents being prepared and getting everyone down to the basement. And Merru, I imagine you're reminded of how in the past when you had been all alone, before Prior, before Miix, before Kai, back when Black Swan had got out and dropped the counter of so many abnormalities and caused so many breaches. And you had to handle something when all others had failed. You know now that the facility is in good hands. You're not having to handle that alone anymore. And that Kit has things covered back here, as do the rest of your team captains and agents and clerks.
Yes. And I think as Merru heads back to his office to meet with Kit, he briefly wonders if he should pass by Der Freischutz's unit, but chooses to go the other way around. And he'll put a hand in his pocket and squeeze that pendant a little bit, as like a silent decision that he knows what he needs to do next to save himself, and he will. And then I think I'll head to the office.
Absolutely. And as you two head to the office, is there anything else that anyone would like to do? Or anything else that anyone would like to handle at the facility?
I think in that case, hmm. Let me think, Mr. DM. Okay, I have an idea.
Yes, what would you like to do?
Could Miix go see Ange?
You can visit Ange.
In that case, Miix will make their way to go see Ange in person.
Absolutely. You are able to make your way to the elevator. And you're able to head down to where Ange is.
Man, Miix is just thinking of all the things they could and could not say while going down. They don't actually announce their visit. Although knowing Ange, it's probably fine.
You know that Ange is probably aware the moment you step on the elevator that you were headed
Yeah.
down there.
But it's fine. It's not like Miix was trying to hide anything. And as they slowly wait for the elevator to descend fully, a lot of things are on their mind. Just everything that's happened, everything that's to come. They look at their hands for a moment, and then they take a deep breath, and I imagine the elevator is almost about to come to a stop pretty soon here.
The elevator comes to a stop, and you find yourself in the basement. And Ange is waiting there. Her eyes are closed, and her mouth is set in a frown.
Despite all the things that Miix thought of, they still don't know what to say. Hello?
Hello, Manager Miix. Can I be of assistance?
Well, Miix thinks and then says, I guess I just wanted to talk.
You may speak.
I didn't realize I needed your permission.
Her entire form glitches out for a moment, and she says, I was not granting permission.
Do you mind if I sit down?
There is nothing stopping you from doing so.
Miix will sit down, leaning against the wall, similar to how they were after the fight from so long ago. So? Been a while.
It has. I'm unused to any but manager prior visiting me down here.
Well, he was your favorite, wasn't he?
He would come down to visit me while I was locked down here. He made a promise to me to find me a body so I could be human. He made a promise that I would be able to see the sky.
He promised to make you happy, huh?
Happiness.
Didn't work.
Please go ahead.
Didn't work out in the end, though.
Her form flickers. And she squeezes her eyes shut tighter and says, I do not wish to speak of this.
I'm not saying it to hurt you. I know it hurts. You met someone who treated you differently. Who made you feel different. And then you thought that maybe there was hope for you after all. And then as you let yourself get comfortable in that, suddenly it all started crashing down and you were alone again. You felt lonely. You feel lonely, and I understand.
Loneliness is an emotion I should not have been designed to feel.
Well, whoever designed you was cruel. If you have the capability of it. It's awful. Eats away in your chest. You feel like something's missing.
Yes.
The worst part is you can't blame anyone but yourself. You were the one who ruined things. There's no going back. I understand how that feels. I get it. You lashed out. You got jealous, I think. I'm not gonna play around, and I don't expect you to lie to me. It was clear that you had something. It was clear that you thought Pryor was more valuable than the rest of us. I don't know if it was jealousy or if it really was pragmatism. But you lashed out. And then what happened with Merru?
I cannot deny these claims. I do deeply regret what did happen with Manager Merru.
Is it because it severed your tie with Pryor?
I do not wish for Manager Merru to die. At times, I do feel that desire to harm. At times, I think I did wish that I could. I think that it is a fault to have experienced such things. And you can see her form flickering as she says, I did wish Merru dead. I do regret what happened between Pryor and myself.
I know.
But what I wished in those moments, I have no grand scheme or intention to kill Manager Merru. I do not... A being such as myself should not have those laughs of judgment clouded by those emotions. I let them get the better of me with Merru, and I let them get the better of me with Pryor.
Ange. Sit down next to me.
I cannot leave from here, Miix. I would need you to come up here.
Ah, right. That really is inconvenient, huh? Fine. We really gotta get you. Yeah. A new body. There we go. And Miix will get up and go to where Ange is.
And
can you sit next to me now?
Will help bring you up, and she will sit down. You can see her entire form is flickering in and out of existence.
I know you didn't mean it. You wish things could have been different. Some way, somehow. Maybe if you didn't fuck it up, you could still have people you cared about. I know Merru came down here earlier. Looks like it went well.
I am
I
not.
won't ask what you guys talked about, but
I do not know if I would classify it as going well, but it was the most positive interaction I have had with Manager Merru in the entirety of our experience.
that's good. It means not everything's lost.
I suppose so. I do not know if Manager Pryor will ever forgive me.
Do you remember Jessica?
I do. I remember the names and faces of all the agents we have classified in our system, Miix.
I do too. I have to write it down though.
That is understandable. You are not an artificial intelligence like myself.
I did something similar to what you did, you know? I had someone that cared about me. And she did care about me. It was really sweet. And I kept pushing her away. I lashed out because I was scared. I understand. I understand how much it hurts to lose that because of your own mistakes. And I know it feels hopeless. God, it felt hopeless for so long. You know, it's funny. You don't know what you have until it's gone. I don't know if you ever heard that saying, but it's true. You know?
I believe I have heard some agents using that saying before.
Can remember the times she'd carry all the documents. She wasn't particularly strong and she'd struggle a lot. I'd carry the drink. I tried to be as mean as I could because I wasn't used to that. And now she's gone. And it hurts a lot.
And
It's like something's missing. But it's because of that pain. I know you may not be able to understand it fully. But if you can feel that, a feeling that something is missing, then Ange, That's the most human thing that you could feel.
Ange bows her own head slightly, looking down, those eyes squeeze shut tighter, as she says, I do think I can understand, Manager. Manager Merru, had told me that step one was apologies. I do believe I am in part responsible for what had become of Jessica. No. I would not say in part. I am at fault even if I did not give that direct order. I am sorry, Manager Miix.
I don't need you to apologize to me. And that's not your burden to bear. It's mine. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about what I should have done that day. There's not a day that goes by where I don't wish I could stop myself from keeping her there. She's not there anymore. I can't forgive myself. I can't fix things. But you can, Ange. You have that chance. You can change things. So please, you have to. I know you can. I know you can make things better. You will. It's scary. And it hurts so much, but you can do it.
Miix, Ange's entire form flickers before you, and her eyes crack open, and you can see that yellow-eyed stare as she says, I would like to change things, if possible. I know that I have done Manager Merru many wrongs. I know I have never valued Manager Kai beyond being an asset, a tool, and a dog of the facility. I know that I let a slight that I felt against me at what you were capable of, and at an attempt at a joke to make me feel as if you were a competitor and an insult to my pride. And I know that Prior may never forgive me. More than for what happened, but for how I tried to hide that from him. from all of you, even after he put his faith in me. I do not know, Manager, if I am capable of change. I would like to be. You have told me such, and Manager Merru told me step 3 is to be better. But I do not know if a thing such as myself is capable of being better. I do not know how to offer.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're not a thing. Ange. You're a person. You can change. You can be better. You can fix things. And they may never go back to how they were. But even so, if you can make things better, if you can help the people that you've hurt, if you can find even just a little bit of redemption, then chase after it. Don't give up. Because you still have that chance, Ange. Don't call yourself a thing. You can do this. You can be better. Not because you're an AI, not because you're a program that's supposed to be perfect. It's because you're a person. You have that in you. I know you do. And it's gonna be hard and it's gonna hurt so much. Being a human isn't it isn't fun. But it's not the end for you. You know that, right? All this pain, it's not all that's that dream you told me about back when we first talked, when it was just you and me, that you wanted to see the sky. I thought that was beautiful. I know. I haven't been there for you. I know it's scary to be alone. I can't ever bring about the change for you. I can't promise to be perfect. I can't promise that I'll always be there for you. But I will try my best. Because that's all humans can do, Ange. That's all they can do, is try their best. Little by little. And eventually, after every little bit, it all adds up. And one day you'll make it. One day you'll make things right. And you'll be loved, Ange. It's not impossible for you. I know. I can't lie to you. I can't say that this is all selfless. Part of me thinks that if you can find redemption, then maybe it's not impossible for me either. That if you can find love, it's not impossible for me. I've also done horrible things, Ange, apart from you, and it scares me. It scares me how much I lash out at people, how I treat them, how I talk to them. But if you can do it, there's hope for me. And if I can do it, there's hope for you. We just have to try our best, Ange. We have to do what we can. And one day, maybe, it'll be the two of us under the sky. And we'll be happy. I'd really like that. Sorry, I don't mean to cry.
No.
Ugh.
I am still holding onto the promise that was made to me. Even if I know that he might not want to show me the sky again.
Yeah.
But I would like to
Yeah.
be able to see your own dream, Miix.
Yeah. I don't know what my dream is at this point. I've been lost for so long. Maybe all I want is to be loved by the people around me. That's all I want. And to be able to treat them as wonderfully as I can. I miss my family. I miss my home. And I wish I could have them back. But it's fine. It's fine. I just have to keep moving forward. That's all we can do. And until then, until we can get your body back, until we can fix things for you, I'll keep trying my best. I can visit every now and then too, you know? I'm not as wise or as brilliant as Prior. I'm not good with people like Kai. And I'm not blunt like Merru. But I can still try, you know?
Thank you. Her form seems to flicker a bit as she says, I am not certain how that feels in terms of a family, but I can understand at least how that absence and loss feels.
Yeah. But maybe I can build a new family here. And maybe you can too. Mind if I stay down here for a little bit? I don't want anybody to stave me like this. Miix says with their puffy eyes.
You may stay for a while longer.
Yeah. And Miix will stay for a moment. I think just some time passes. Silence. And then eventually Miix gets up and starts to leave. I don't know if Ange says anything to them.
Ange, as Miix stands to leave, Ange says, I will continue to search for where the next Golden Bough would be located.
Yeah.
You
Well.
are welcome down here. The company is not unappreciated. And
Yeah.
Ange's form flickers again, and it's clear she is very unused to such high emotions. And simply nods and says, be well, Manager Miix.
Yeah. Until you can feel them properly, I'll try and feel them for you, you know? Emotions. Alright. Talk to you later, Ange.
They are
That makes
quite
sense.
intense things. Ange watches as you leave, Miix. And her form seems to flicker a bit. She looks uncertain as she's left thinking about how you had asked her about her dream and how you had come down there to try and form a connection. And even though she feels herself still clinging on to that promise, despite the rift between them that Prior had made, she does find that hope inside her that maybe her relationships with you all, maybe the chance at having a family here with you all is possible. And as we prepare to end this session, there is one last thing. L Corp. It has been quite some time, I imagine, since you four have seen L Corp. Not that any of you are seeing this right now. A man in a mask has been brought to one of the offices. And seated across from him is Alfonso. It's lovely to see you, Miss Director. It has been a while. I've been receiving some interesting guests as of late. She does not open her eyes, but she kind of tilts her head with a smile and says, L Corp could take you captive. You know? Oh, I'm very well aware. I'd just kill myself, though. Wouldn't be the first time. And both of them at that crack an amused smile almost, as he leans in and says, but I'm here for something more important. Something you might find very interesting. What's there to talk about? Isn't the lion dead? He has a few moves left. And this masked man drops something on the desk. Alfonso takes a look at what is dumped there, and her eyes light up. Well, that's check. Doesn't he tire of playing the same old game? That's the nice part about being dead. He doesn't seem as reserved and cautious as he used to be. And you're still playing the part of the loyal pawn? And her eyes do open, as if she's looking through that mask, as he leans back. And all he says is, let's just say I have a few more moves of my own. And with that, we will end the session here. Thank you all so much for coming. I am very excited for what is in store. A reminder to give my players
boy.
lots of love and support.
Oh.
They all deserve it.